And so it's just to welcome you again so we can have another conversation because it's so interesting, isn't it?
We have absolutely fantastic conversations off camera, but yes, issues with hypnotherapy, as I say,
I want to start just by introducing yourself again, just briefly, in case people don't know who you are, in case they haven't seen the first session.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. Just beat me to it. I was just going to say, if you haven't seen the first session, go back to it and watch it and listen to it, because it's absolutely fantastic what discussions we had. I'm Mark Hockey. I'm a hypnotherapist. I couldn't say that. I nearly went into Spanish then, because obviously I'm in Spain, and sometimes English comes through and Spanish comes through and even French comes through, and it confuses me as well. So yeah. I'm Mark Hockey, hypnotherapist. I'm in Spain. I used to be in the UK running a holistic wellness with my wife, which we do now in Spain anyway. But yeah, if you haven't seen the first session, watch it. You know our details, but I've been a hypnotherapist for since 2017 now, and loving every minute of it. It's our passion, as it is with yourself. And once we get into conversations about any subject of hypnotherapy, we're off. We're on a journey, so...
Yes, we are, because it's such a powerful subject. And it's interesting, actually, because I trained and qualified in 2018, so very similar time frame, actually. I hadn't realised that.
Yeah.
And yes, people who may not know me, but the first person I worked with was my daughter, and she overcame her autoimmune disease in a single session. And that's been my catapult, really, into, whoa, what else can I do? Because I didn't even believe in me. I just it was a bit hypnotherapy by numbers back then, but what an amazing transformation. She's been pain-free, symptom-free, medication-free since then, which was October 2018, because I'd sat on the certificate for a bit and like, no, I'm just going to file it, I'm not going to do anything with it. But she really empowered me, and I suppose I've empowered her, because she's got true health, true wellness, and she's living the life she wants, because she's without the pain and symptoms. So she's just free to be herself, which is such a gift. It's kind of like a rebirth, I guess. It's doing it twice. But anyway, today we're going to talk about issues and how hypnotherapy can help. What problems have you got? And it's such a vast subject, because basically you've got an issue, hypnotherapy can help you. And it's such a broad thing, because the thing is, the subconscious mind knows how, when, where, why it began, whatever your issue is. If you weren't born with it, you've acquired it. If you've acquired it, you can let go of it. And that's basically it in a nutshell, as far as I'm concerned. And I've proven that over and over again. What would you say?
Exactly the same thing. Is that there's two sides to the mind, as we know. There's conscious side, subconscious side. The conscious side can guess all day long of what the problems are. There's no issues in the conscious mind. That's why we don't deal with the conscious mind in hypnotherapy. But the subconscious mind's got it all in there. And the silly, crazy things that we do to ourselves is that we hide these issues. We set them up ourselves. We hide them from ourselves, and we ask them to trigger in our future life, in our present and future life. So that's why we get anxiety and depression and panic attacks and all sorts of things happening, because we tell our subconscious mind, this is what we need at a certain point. We need that triggered at a certain point. So just to go into that a little bit deeper, is that any issue that anyone's got, and I'm saying anxiety, depression, anything, a fear of something, a phobia, is because we've actually set something up in our life at some point, and it could be just an example of seeing something on a telly as a young child. It could be anything that's happened that you visualized and experienced in front of you, or actually happened physically to you. And at that point, especially with, let's take an example of fear of spiders, for instance. Now, the majority of people have not been born with the fear of spiders, but you set something up in your life as a small person where usually, I don't want to sound sexist, but usually you've seen your mother see a spider, she screamed, gone, spider. You've set in your mind as a little person going, oh, every time I see that little black thing with 8 legs, I've got to scream spider and be scared of it. So you set that in your mind. So you hide that as well. So you say to your subconscious mind, every time I see this little black thing called spider, let me remember to scream and be scared of it. And that's what it does. It keeps reminding you, triggering that fear without question. It does it without yes or no's. It just does it every time. So what we do as hypnotherapists, we go, well, let's find out why you're scared of spiders. And consciously we can ask them, when was you scared of spiders? Oh, 10 years ago I see a spider, it made me scared, or tarantula, whatever it's going to be. Oh, okay then. But when we really delve into the subconscious mind, we find out at a certain point in their time, as a young person, 3 years old, 4 years old, see their mother scared of spiders, scream, you set that in your mind. That's where we can actually change that memory to be better, to be understanding, to go through the situations in different ways of that person understanding what a spider is and why you shouldn't be scared of them. Whatever you need to do. And that's something only that person can do as well. Not from us. We can't change the mind. We can't control the mind. It's only that the client, the customer.
That's right. But we are the guide to take them where the issue began. And the thing is with the subconscious mind, it isn't logical. It's emotional. So it's all its language is emotion. So it's all fed on that emotion. So take that spider example. How did you feel when your mum's screaming, spider, spider? You're feeling scared. Okay, I'm on high alert now. And so you feel scared. And so it's not a rational thought. It's just that it's been programmed into you in that one moment of, fear. So every time you see that trigger, you've got the fear, whether you rationally think it's just a spider, it can't hurt me, it's just this tiny. But you still got that thing because it was fed to you, given to you by other people. And that's how that's a perfect example actually of how trauma is fed down the line, because people respond within their trauma, within their healed trauma, probably not healed, but they respond in their own set of thought processes in the subconscious, and then that gets passed down. So if your parents didn't feel loved, for example, they couldn't give you love. And so if you feel you can't have love, what does that mean? You're unlovable. And then if you're feeling lovable, it's a massive wound. And then you radiate that. Look, I feel unlovable, and everything around you mirrors that unlovability back to you, if that's a word. And so that is a perfect example of how our reality is shaped by our thoughts, beliefs, and everything. It's just we are these radio frequencies that are just our thoughts, beliefs are all so powerful. It just mirrors it back, just like a radio frequency. We're just magnetizing what we believe. So, it's about changing those old beliefs, seeing what the real truth is. That's what I say to my clients. And what's the real truth about that? That's what you believe when you were 2. You tell me what's the real truth about you. And that is the big aha moment. And I love that so much. So issues, it's actually autoimmune disease awareness month this month of March. So maybe it's a good idea to sort of start talking about physical issues and how our bodies actually speak to us, because the subconscious mind and the conscious mind, the link is the body. And it's the only way it can talk between it. So the conscious and subconscious, the body is the link, and it shows up in pain and symptoms. And that is, its language is pain and symptoms, because it can't verbalize it, and it's telling us that there's suppressed emotion behind the symptoms, and where the symptoms are tells a deeper story. So do you want to share an issue that you've worked with physically? Perhaps?
Absolutely. There's majority of our people that come to see us have got certain pains and issues through autoimmune. So the body actually tells you, because especially with anxiety, you can ask it to do all sorts of things for you to remind you that you've got anxiety. You can get a panic attack, you can get hot and cold flashes, you can get rashes, you can get all sorts of itchiness around your body. And that's telling you anything that happens to the body, especially pain, which you brought up. Pain is there for a reason. It's telling you something. So I do get frustrated sometimes when I listen to a lot of people going, oh yeah, we can just get rid of that pain. No, you shouldn't get rid of pain, because it's there for a reason. You can get rid of it if it's just an old story, an old program that's just not supposed to be there no more, not doing you any good. It's just your mind, your brain doesn't understand it, doesn't need it anymore. But you've got to test, you've got to ask the subconscious mind, is it physical or is it mental? Because if it's physical, it's got to be there for a reason. So someone's got sciatica, a trapped nerve or something like that, and you take away that pain, they're going to walk away with no pain, but do some damage to themselves. Okay,
yeah,
so
I would go deeper than that, actually. You've got sciatica for a reason. There's still an emotional pain behind that. Let's have a look at why you've got sciatica. It's telling you you're not supported. Why? Where is it? Let's go back. So that is, yes, any pain, whether it's present or future, not just to eliminate pain, because yes, that's not a great idea, because otherwise you're going to get more injured. But let's have a look at the real root behind that sciatica, rather than just get rid of pain. Let's just go to the root, and then you can be free of it. So it's all, everything is emotional.
That's every time. If I do deal with pain, I ask the subconscious mind, is it physical, is it mental? If it's physical, sorry, can't touch it. If it's mental, okay, let's deal with the emotions that it sets up to give you that pain. What happened? Where was it? As you say, let's find the core issue. Let's find out where it comes from. Once that's done, we can resolve it. We can do something really good with that.
Absolutely. And I've never found anything not emotional. It's always emotional. Everything's emotional.
Well, everything's energy. So
yes, exactly. And what is emotion? Energy in motion. Only the negative emotions don't feel good, so we don't process them. We just stuff them down, don't we? And then over time, that big bag of emotion in your body is like knocking on your door, going, "Excuse me, you forgot to take me out, and empty me." Really. Like a refuse, but you empty your rubbish bag every week, don't you, in the kitchen? But we forget, we're not even aware that that's what's going on. So we're not. I really, really, truly believe we're not meant to live in chronic conditions. It's just your body speaking to you.
Absolutely, every time. That your body is a clever thing. Your mind is a clever thing. It all links in together, sort of thing. So if you've got an issue of any sort, that we've got to find out, or you've got to find out where you set it up, where this issue come from. As we've spoken before, off camera and everything, about the amount of people we deal with in past lives that have brought them issues through, which we'll come to another day. How many people have gone through birth and picked up anxiety and all sorts of fears and phobias from that time as well. And what's happened in their young life, to pick up certain issues. And they just hide them away and they trigger. Examples of, people go out and they see a colour blue or a sound or a noise or something, and all of a sudden they have a panic attack or an anxiety attack, and they don't know why they have it. And this is amazing, because you've actually set this up. You've set this up at some point, going, every time I see the colour blue, or I feel hot somewhere, or something's in front of me, or someone says a certain word, give me a panic attack. Just let me have that panic attack, that anxiety attack, but don't tell me why. Just give it to me. Just trigger it so I can keep away and defend myself or protect myself away from whatever that is. And it's crazy, because some people will come out with some trivial things that every time I see the colour blue, I just go in hot sweats or a rash or something like that. And you go, why is it only blue? I don't know. But when we, as a hypnotherapist, can help them regress back into where that's set up, that emotion set up, at some point, something happened around them where the colour blue was around them, perhaps wallpaper, perhaps a colour on the TV, whatever it's going to be. And they had this fright, or, something's happened, and they've gone, right, colour blue, that's it. Every time I see that, give me that panic attack, give me that emotion from that particular time.
Exactly. That's how illogical it is. It's so, but it isn't your fault if you've got anxiety. We set it up, but not in a rational. We don't sort of like, do you know what? Today I'm really decided. It's not that at all. It's just there's something in your subconscious mind when you were younger that triggered it, and then it's like a string of lights going bing, 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 all the way down to that particular trigger. And it happens too fast for you to go consciously know what it is, because it's emotional, not logical. So your mind's linking all those and going, oh, crikey, need to get you out of there. Let's give you a panic attack, get you out of there. You need to be safe. And that's what it's doing. But not helpful if it's just about the colour blue. Not helpful. You feel a panic maybe about talking to your boss. Maybe it's triggering you because it's reminding you of something, or situations reminding you of when you were little. Maybe it's like, I'm going to get into trouble. It's reminding me of my dad. He used to hit me with a ruler for not eating bread or whatever it was, or not tidying my bedroom. And I feel like that. I feel like that little kid again. You see, so it's not the situation that triggers us, it's the emotion And that's why it's so pesky to, like, because we have all these ranges of emotions going through us all the time, like rainbows, really. And so it's just, of course you can't pinpoint it yourself, because how are you going to remember that when you were 2, your dad said you need to eat all your bread and you got hit over the hand, and now you're having this conversation with your boss and he's making you feel the same way?
That reminds me of a time when you were saying about bosses, is that I've had quite a few clients come to me because they've got to stand up in front of their company or in an audience or a meeting, and they can't because they've got that lack of confidence and panic attacks and anxiety feelings that come through, and they can't do it. And at times I've gone with them and helped them, and they've gone back to a particular time. There was one lady that I remember, she was in a classroom, she got told off for doing something, she was told to stand up and to explain something like the days of the week or the months of the year or whatever it's going to be, but stand up in front of the whole classroom, but everyone's staring at her. She went hot, she went scared, she was feared, she put that emotion into her. She goes, wow, this is horrible, this is absolutely terror. That she set up. She kept it. She said, subconscious mind, anytime I've got to stand up in front of people, give me that hot flush again, that panic attack, that anxiety, because this is where it's come from. So she could never get up in front of an audience or have a meeting with people and stand up and talk until we resolved that emotion.
That happened to me. It was a maths question, and every time I stood up, it felt like I was having an asthma attack. I couldn't get my breath. And no one's going to pay to listen to me talk like that. So I had to I've got, like you said, no idea where it came from. I was 5 years old. It was a quite scary teacher. And I got the question right. It was 10 pence, take away 7 pence. I remembered it in, clear as day. But ask me before that, I had no idea at all. So it was 10 pence, take away 7 pence, obviously 3 pence. And then I got to find the coin tray, the coin in the coin tray. And I was looking for a 3 pence piece because I was 5. And everybody was looking at me. I felt really stupid. Terror, because it was like, I've got this wrong. She's going to shout at me. She used to hit, back in the day, we used to get smacked as well if we were naughty. And oh, crikey, she's going to hit me. And I was terrified. It just felt like decades had gone on as I'm looking for this 3 pence piece. And of course, my subconscious mind was, you're never, ever going to put yourself in that situation again, and the way of doing that is to stop you from talking. And so you want to sit down and just hide away. And it worked until it was like, I'm fed up with this. I just, I've got to get out there. I've got to, I was talking about anxiety, funnily enough, that was what I wanted to do. So I had to release my own in order to be able to do it. And I did it in a week, because the subconscious mind is so easy to let go of stuff when you're in the right conditions as well.
Well, the thing is that we set things up in our subconscious mind. We're the only person that can unset them in a subconscious mind. I've got to clarify that with people, that a hypnotherapist cannot go into anyone's mind and do anything with it. Okay, a hypnotherapy can only help you on your journey to something in your subconscious mind, where you get the opportunity, if you want to, because it's all in your control, to take something out or change something in your subconscious mind. No one can control your mind. It's impossible to do that. But
exactly, all we can do is guide you where you need to be. And we did cover that on our first thing. But if they haven't watched, that's a great thing to keep.
I want to clarify that, because people don't understand that, and it's just something we know how to get people into that place. But we're going back to the body and everything, and it's warning us about things. You reminded me of another one. Was a lady that always had a shaky leg. So the body's telling her there's a problem, and the legs start shaking, and she can never wonder why. And it's always when she's queuing up. Nowhere else. She can be standing on her own, anything else, but she's queuing up with other people. She had a shaky leg, and it kept happening to her at an airport. So waiting in security, trying to go through the queue sort of thing. And her leg was shaking like mad, and she was really panicking about it. Again, that reverted back to when she was a child at school. Something happened. She was told off, and she had to queue up outside the headmaster's office sort of thing, and she had the panic attack, and her legs started shaking. So she linked that, she set that up. She goes, every time, I'm in a queue, give me a shaky leg. But don't tell me why. And that's what we do to ourselves. So that's why consciously I said to her, when did it start? She goes, I don't know. It just always happens every time I'm in a queue, especially in a shop or at the airport was the last time. I said, okay, let's find out where it was. And we went back, we dressed. He goes, oh yeah, you're standing in the queue, you're outside the headmaster's office. You've been told off, you've been naughty, you're scared, and you're starting to shake. And you see your leg shaking. Let's just carry on with that for the rest of our life. So every time I queue up, give me that shaky leg. But again, it's the body telling you something you set up, emotion, feeling.
Emotions, suppressed emotion. Yeah, that's right. And it's just releasing that, because you're never going to be queuing up for the head teacher again, not in that situation. So it's about really that, but the thing is as well, the subconscious mind doesn't understand past, present and future. It only understands the now moment. And so it doesn't understand that you're not going to be queuing up there again. It's just trying to keep, that's what it's trying to do. It's trying to avoid that situation. But when you can see it and like, well, that's never going to happen. Yeah. And even if it did, I don't need to be frightened of it. I just tell him to go, I'm leaving, bye. Because you've got far more power now than you had when you were that 4-year-old or however old you were. So it's about reprogramming your mind, re-looking at it, re-analyzing it from your adult perspective rather than your younger self. And you can, and it's about giving that younger self that love and care that they probably felt so alienated or just not belonging and that sort of thing. It's all those emotions that we're looking at, because really there's only 3 things wrong with us, which is I don't belong, I'm not enough, and what I want isn't available, whether it's mum's love, whatever it is. And so those are the 3 things. Or people like me, I haven't got a dad, but everybody else has. There's something wrong with me. I feel abandoned. And of course you did. But it's really looking at it from the adult perspective. Maybe your dad didn't love himself, and so he couldn't give what you needed as a family. So he took himself away for whatever reason. He's looking for something external rather than an internal thing. So when you see it for what it really is, that is when it starts to become deep healing. And like you said, actually, there was where you think it's really surprising where the beliefs actually come from. Yeah. I had a client recently who got physical pain all over her body. They'd been labelled as fibromyalgia, and she's like, I know what it is. It's the toxic relationship I left, blah blah blah. I said, okay, that was the discovery call. And then I said, okay, well, let's just go with an open mind. And it wasn't that at all. It was some grief that she'd had from when she was a child. Quite a lot of grief as a child because people had died. And so it was that she was holding on to. That's really what it's about. So it goes way beyond. And so it just, it's about being curious about what it is so that it can just be understood and let go.
Absolutely. You've brought up a certain thing just a minute about being self-worthy. The amount of people that come to see me because they don't think they deserve to live a better life. They think they should be suffering with whatever it is, sort of thing. And that comes out a lot. The confidence is there, the self-worth is there. Do I deserve this nice life? Yes, you do. Of course you do. What happened in the past is the past. The water's gone under that bridge. You can't bring that water back. You've got to start now looking at what's in front of you right now, this new journey. And if you want it, it's there for you. I can't put you on there and force you on it, but I can show you the road as you can, and ask and be with you for the first step to get on there if you want it. So, and the majority of the time, if people are here, that's what they want anyway. So it's just
yes, that's right. Absolutely. What I like doing, if they're open to it, is taking them into 5 years in the future so they can see themselves in that new house, in that new job, doing whatever it is. And then they can they've got like a late. I don't go, right, we're going to, imagine this particular scene. We're going just into the future and just seeing. And I say to them, well, you put yourself in that new home, you put yourself in that new job. I didn't tell you to go and find, this particular place or office or whatever it was. I just said, and that's And how do you feel? Well, it feels so much more expansive and beautiful and energized and freeing and liberating. Brilliant. Bring those feelings back into your now moment, attach them into your now so that you can attract better things. Because if you can do it then, you can do it now. And it's just going to help you to collapse time, because again, you know, you're admitting the frequencies. So the more you can have that higher vibration, that higher feelings of joy and beautiful and love and ecstasy and, you know, all those higher frequencies, the lovely frequencies, you know, the nice things, the more you can bring that into your body, the more you can attract things quicker.
Oh gosh,
better
yeah.
things.
That's it. It is all about frequencies on the levels that you are, you know, and the amount of people are saying, I'm always going through the same sort of hardships and relationship issues and everything. I said, yeah, because you're on a certain frequency. You're sending out a frequency. It's attracting the same frequency. Once you change that level of frequency, you'll start to attract different things.
Absolutely.
And that's how it works.
Absolutely. My life has changed so much since I started doing this. You know, it's like the first 50 years was like Groundhog Day pretty much. And now it's like so expansive. You know, I'm planning to get my book out in June this year. I'm starting to train people towards the end of the year. I'd never even thought of that way back then. You know, I was just doing an office job, just Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Really, when you look at it, it was, you know, it was okay, but also I was attracting toxic relationships because of my beliefs when I was younger. Of, you know, love, the basic, I won't go into detail, but it's love is painful was the core belief. Guess what I attracted?
Yeah.
Everything painful around love, because we are what we believe. I didn't know I was holding on to that consciously at all. You know, you just sort of think, oh, all men are like that because that's all I've ever known. But it's not true. It's just your frequency is bringing those back into you. That's to you, for you to experience until you decide enough is enough.
Totally agree with that. That's, as I say, there's books on this, we've got books on it, and every issue that comes through from a person, we go, right, you've got a knee pain, which one is it? Your right knee, okay, that's in the future, your left one's in your past, whatever it's going to be. So there's always a statement or some information that relates to, and if you show them, you go, read that and tell me what resonates with you, sort of thing, from that, and they go, wow, most of that resonates. You say, okay, so that's what we need to deal with. We need to deal with, you know, where this emotions come from. Let's resolve that. Your knee pain will disappear, and that's yes. What we're here for.
Yes, and it's so sad that we haven't been told this. It's such a, you know, to keep people in pain and symptoms is just unforgivable, really, I think.
I must admit, I know it's just going to be horrible to say, but some people want that. Some people want to have the
identity.
Yes, they want the title. You know, you never had a title of fibromyalgia, ADHD, and everything else years ago. That's just something medical world has just given that out there. It goes, we don't know what it is, but we're going to give you this title
put a label on it.
And people, they get calmed down by that. At least they know what it is, but they're not actually resolving it. That's their journey. You know, some people just want the sympathy vote from a lot of people. I know it's horrible to say, but some people do. I've come across quite a few. They say, well, you've got this problem, I can help you, this can help you. I said, oh, no, I'm all right, I'll be fine. And they just carry on moaning about the problems they got. I said, okay, that's your journey. And other people, you say to them, well, I can help you. And they come and say, and they get help.
Yeah.
And they don't suffer.
You're right, because it keeps them in that limited place. Like if I was healthy, I might have to get a job, or it would change so much. And also people are scared of the unfamiliar. So if I was healthy, what would that mean? You know, I don't know who I am.
That's the hardest thing. That's a very good point, because I had a lady the other day and I said to her, well, we're going back to self-worthiness, and she didn't have that self-worthiness. She didn't deserve anything good for her, sort of thing. And I said to her, how would you feel if you had that now? You had that self-worthiness. You was worthy of everything. You deserved everything that you required. How would it feel? She goes, I couldn't tell you. I've never had it. I've never had that self-worth. I don't know what it would feel like. And I said to her, you know, give me an example of what you're good at and what someone said to put you down. And she said, I do this. I've written a page on a poem, and someone put me down because they said it was a load of rubbish. But I said, now, was your poem rubbish? He goes, no, it was really good. It took me ages to do. And I said, well, you're worthy of that respect. One person putting you down doesn't mean to say your poem is rubbish. Now show somebody else that poem and they liked it. I said, well, where's that going now then? She goes,
we focus
now
on the
I can
negative.
I can feel that worthiness. I did deserve some gratitude or reward for what I just did. And I said, and more people will probably like your poem. So that one person doesn't mean to say the whole world hates your poem. I said,
No,
there's your
it's an
deserve.
opinion in a multitude of opinions. So it's just, but we focused on that, don't we?
Yeah, and people have been put down all their life. You know this, and I know this. You know the amount of people, especially our peers and parents and everything else, have put us down. You know, you're ugly, you're fat, you're slow, you're bad, all the negative things.
Stupid,
The
good
amount,
teachers, you're stupid all the
yeah.
time.
Every
You know,
time you listen to that, you start to believe it.
yes. And then what do? You've got negative self-talk going in your head all the time. And I've got a releasing negative self-talk meditation actually that's free if anybody wants it. So I will pop that in the notes so that people can
Absolutely, that's what that
release it because it matters. And this is why I'm passionate about writing my book, because that's one of the things, because releasing the negative self-talk, we're like a battery, aren't we? So if you've got positive charge, which is the good things, the really great emotions, that's going to really boost you up. If you've got the negative, you can't, you're stupid, you're this, you're that, and you're telling yourself that all the time, that's going in your body as well. Every cell listens. It's a negative energy. You're coating your body with all that negativity. And then, surprised that you've got pain and symptoms and things, or you've got an autoimmune disease, or you don't get the job you wanted because you've talked yourself out of it. You've told yourself you're never going to get it anyway. So, you know, the reality is you didn't get it. Change your frequency, change your thoughts. Changing your thoughts changes your life. And that's why negative self-talk meditation is there, because it's the first step to healing.
Maybe it's a time for me to put some vital words in there about medication as well, because we're talking about autoimmune, the body, and the things it sends signals out to our body, sort of thing. And I know, you know, people have grown up with the medical world and they're pushing antibiotics and medications and prescriptions onto people all the time, because you go to the doctor, that's all they're going to do. They're going to give you, because that's their world, that's how they make money, it's giving you drugs. But did you know, people, that you as a person can control any pain, anything that's going wrong in your world, in your life, in your body, by just your mind? You know, them drugs are not going to resolve anything that you've got. They're going to calm things. Sometimes they make things a lot worse, because then you'll start having to take drugs to compensate for the drugs you've just been taking, because of side effects and everything else. So look at what you're doing. Look at what you're putting into your body. If it's man-made out there, then something isn't quite right in my eyes. Now, if you've got a pain of some sort, let's find out the emotions behind that pain. As we've been speaking about, the emotions behind that pain. Medication and drugs don't look for emotions. They just put a chemical into your body that's going to literally do some harm to you, I think, in the long run. But if you look for that emotion around that pain, as we've been speaking about, and resolve it, you don't need them drugs. You don't need any of that medical world to start pumping you full of drugs. This is all down to you. You can do this. I've seen it time and time again. Physical pain with people.
Absolutely. You've only got to look at my daughter, and we were doing all that thing for 14 years, believing that was the only way forward, because that's what we're conditioned to believe. And then I decided it was worth having a go just to see what happened. I didn't understand the correlation then between physical and emotional. I didn't. I knew other people who got amazing results using hypnotherapy, but I wasn't them. So this was like, just test the water and see. I was hopeful that just doing 52 sessions, one a week for 52 weeks, a year, you know, for the whole year, would help reduce the pain. That's what I was looking at. But we got to the whole thing. We got to the root. We found it. For her, it was, I need pain to be like everybody else. I've never had that again since, but everybody's got a unique root cause. Everybody's got, it's always unique. So it's just being curious about it, you know. And the chances are, I often say to my clients, roll the dice again, I'm you, you're me. Chances are I've been through something similar. That's why we've connected. So it's just about, and it's great because, you know, I've been through it too. I've got that empathy, I've got that understanding. It's a non-judgmental, safe space for you just to have a look in your emotional rucksack you've been carrying on your back for so long, and so it just can be understood and released.
As I say, I'm going to say some harsh words, is that we as hypnotherapists, we can help you to do anything or repair or resolve anything that you've got. We can't do it for you, but we can help you to do it for yourself. We'll show you how to do it, because as I say, we can't control your minds. But as I say, it's just opening your life, your world, your thoughts to a holistic side of things. Because if it didn't work, we wouldn't be here talking now.
No.
The medical world don't want us here now because we can help people without them selling their drugs to them. That's the difference. That's the side of the fence they're on. So it's just believe in it, try it. What's the harm it's going to do? What are you going to lose? 60, 90 minutes of your time just to figure this out. And I said this to people many times. And he goes, I'm so glad I come to you in the end. I said, how come we're always the last ones that people come to see?
Yeah. Well, the last resort, because they don't need to look anywhere after. That's why. But yeah, I mean, it's so funny how, you know, I just didn't even consider it because I was just in that belief of, you know, you've got a problem, you go to the doctor, and yes, they have got their place, I suppose, and you know, medication can help in the short term, but you have got the power to heal our subconscious minds. In fact, there's a brilliant book by Joseph Murphy about the subconscious mind. I think he's written lots, but the subconscious mind is one of those books, and it's a brilliant book for you to sort of start to see how the mind works and how it's all emotional and not logical.
I'm one of these people that I have to have evidence before I can do anything or help anyone else or do anything for anyone else, sort of thing. As I say, the first thing I did when I became a hypnotherapist is I'd done some self-hypnosis on myself for the fear of needles. It worked. I never thought that would actually do it. Once I've seen that, and I helped the next few people with whatever, smoking, weight loss, panic attacks, whatever. And once I started seeing the evidence of change, I'm going, this thing really is real. This is just not made up. This is not just hearsay. There's evidence there. There's thousands of people we've dealt with, and we've seen the results of them. We're going, but this is just not, you know, a magic wonder or miracle that's happened and, you know, it's make-believe. This is actually, it works. It absolutely works. And my passion's hypnotherapy, same as yours. I love, and I know this is horrible to say, I love to see people with issues. That's my passion, because I know they can change, and I can show them how to do it. That's the journey I'm on with yourself. It's just going through as many people as we can in this world to make things easier, you know.
And that's right. And later on in the year, I'm going to start training people, so it's like a little army of people going out there and helping more people, because that's what's needed. So yeah, it is really wonderful. And you, like me, it was Emily to start with, my daughter. Then I rented a room locally in a wellness centre, got people in. Psoriasis was one of the first things that went in 2 weeks. She's had it for 15 years. I mean, it's just, I was like, wow, what else can I do? This is really exciting. PTSD in one session. I mean, that was like, wow. We made quite a lot of noise in that after the end of that session, actually, because we were celebrating, because she was like, I'm going to go out and buy my son a birthday card. It's his birthday next week. And I was like, okay. And she's like, no, you don't understand. I haven't been out shopping on my own for like 5 years. So I'm going to go out now. Like, okay. You know, that was way before COVID and stuff. So, and now she's a landscape gardener. She's loving her life.
Right, Rachel, you just said the words there, that you've helped people holistically without drugs, without medication, without being forced to put chemicals into their body. You've actually done something naturally that works.
I know. And it's the power of words, because our words are spelling.
There you go.
It's called spelling at school for a reason, everybody. But we're just not told why. That's the thing. So there's so many things we've not been told the full things about. But yeah, and hypnotherapy I love it because it's a beautiful journey of self-discovery. You find out, I really had forgotten about that. How is that? How did that make that this and this, and it's sort of going back and linking it together. You've already lived it, it's just reviewing it so you can piece it together and empower yourself from it. That's it. And it's wonderful. And I think from that you realize that you're way more than just a physical body. You're way more than just what you see in front of you just by doing the hypnotherapy. And it's sort of you find yourself, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's just, I'm just thinking back then of what we're talking about and everything else is that we're not trying to pull people in off the street and go, look, we're going to help you, come and book a session with us. We're trying to open the eyes up of the whole public to say, just look into hypnotherapy. Whoever you go to that's a hypnotherapist, go and sense it, go and see what it's all about. Because, you know, as you said, we've just been brought up with this knowledge of, you know, we can go on to another subject of school and teaching and everything else and what that's all about. That's another rabbit hole we can go down. But with the medication side of things, the medical science and everything, it isn't the only thing. You know, we are here, it works. Yes, we are always the last people that people come to see because they've tried everything else and got all the side effects and, you know, not getting any better, and then we go and help them. So it's just, please open your eyes, just look at hypnotherapy, what it does, and you'll be amazed. You'll be absolutely amazed. We're just here to have a better world for people. You know, without drugs and medication, in my eyes, I shouldn't be saying it too much, but that's my eyes, because I want to be, you know, showing people there is evidence, it does work, and you don't need all that. It's natural, it's good, it's not going to harm you. It's absolutely something that you want, you can have it.
And it doesn't even feel like work because you're talking to us with your eyes closed. You're relaxed.
Yeah.
It's letting your subconscious mind do the lifting, the heavy lifting. It's not really heavy, but it's just letting your mind do it. And it's just like, oh, like a daydream. I'm this, I'm 5, I'm 10. Oh, it's another maths question, you know, and it's usually maths in my experience. Probably because it's a right or wrong answer, where English is a little bit more subjective. Maybe that's what it is. But it's quite interesting how things go back.
You hit the nail on the head, because the amount of people that I know that have been to CBT and counselling and psychology and everything else, and yes, are sitting there with their eyes open, talking like we're doing now, sort of thing, about their issues, and people get frustrated with that. What hypnotherapy is, and I think we said this before, is that you are relaxed, you are sitting down, you are with your eyes shut, as you just said, and it's the most relaxing therapy that anyone can go through. There's nothing else I know that is as relaxing as hypnotherapy. You're not asleep, you're not awake, and it's something you do every single day. You go into hypnosis every single day of your life, everybody does. But the thing is that what's better to be relaxed, calm, and not scared or fearful of anything that you're doing and changing for yourself. You know, it's a win-win.
And I do it online, so you're in the comfort of your own home. You haven't even got to travel anywhere. It's just beautiful. You're in your own home, you're relaxed, your head and neck supported, and you just go with the flow, and you just start seeing images in your mind or experiences. Some people just do it in feeling in their body, and it's just about understanding it so it can be let go of.
I remember the times when I was thinking, wow, you know, my first time when I was doing it on Zoom sort of thing to somebody in Australia, I'm going, I'm helping someone on the other side of the world sort of thing, and it's helping them. This is amazing. You know, you don't have to be physically in the room with someone. No, it's just mind blowing.
It is. And I think I like online sessions better, because I think there's that, you know, they know that you can't piggyback somebody's mind if you're just talking to them at such a distance. You know, that you're not going to do anything really weird. They're allowed to relax. They're on their own. They're in their home. And I think that's probably with their cat or something. But, you know, they know that they're safe. And I think that helps set them up for success as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's say I've always looked at the list of causes that people will suffer with, and even go to the top 100, top 200, you know. I'm still trying to put a report together of the majority of the top 10 at the moment. And anxiety, depression is very high on my agenda still with clients and customers coming to see me. So something's still out there. There's a lot of fear out there. There always has been for a couple of years. So that's quite predominant at the moment. That's still there, and that's still causing problems to people. So all I want to say is that if you're there, you're living a life and there's something holding you back, something restricting you that you really don't want anymore. If it's anxiety, a panic attack, or whatever it's going to be, a fear of something, a fear of flying, smoking, weight loss, whatever it's going to be, what is it that you're not happy with? Then look into hypnotherapy. Don't look at the drugs and medication, because honestly, I keep saying this, but look at hypnotherapy because it's a holistic way, it's a natural way. We don't do anything but natural ways of helping people, and it's so relaxing, so what's there to lose?
Yeah, even if that is only the only benefit, but there isn't, there's much more than that. But even if you just got to relax for 90 minutes or 2 hours or whatever, that's a benefit in itself. But again, by being relaxed, it gives your body system chance to allow that change to happen. And so that sets you up for success as well. And that's why I like doing it online, because it really does help to set you up for success, because you're more relaxed in your own environment than you would be in my office.
That's one of the things that when I deal with people with high anxiety sort of thing, that can't relax, their mind's buzzing, they're pacing sort of thing. And after sort of, I don't know, about 90-minute session or whatever I've done with them sort of thing, and I say to them, how long have you been relaxed for? And they go, wow, about 20 minutes. I say, it's been an hour and a half. And I say, wow, I've never sat in a chair or been relaxed for that long. How did you do it? I said, I didn't, you did. I said, I just showed you how to do it. And they're amazed. That amazes me, because I love that. And the other thing I've just thought of when that comes through is that I've seen people with smartwatches, and I've always said to them afterwards, I've not pointed out at the beginning, but afterwards said, you've got a smartwatch. I said, does it give you a relaxation report that you can look at now? And some of them go, yeah, let me have a look at my phone. There's my relaxation report. And you can see at the time where we started the hypnotherapy to the time we finished, their heart rate and their relaxation, their calmness has just gone all the way down for the whole period, and then come back up when they come round again. It's just beautiful. And they goes, this is amazing. I said, yeah, I love that. I love watching them reports as well. I'm a bit nosy with them, because I think just look at how they relax, relax themselves.
It's something tangible to prove to them that they have been relaxed. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
I had one the other week, quick one the other week, looked at her report, and it was a calmer report than when she's usually asleep at night. Just through the hypnotherapy, I just remembered that, because I thought, well, how can that be calmer than sleep? She goes, well, I don't sleep that well anyway, but when I do sleep, that's the level I am. But this, in hypnotherapy, I was just under it. I said, that's perfect.
It's gorgeous. And even sleep issues are a thing that we can resolve. It's because your subconscious mind doesn't believe it's safe to relax or safe to sleep for whatever reason. It's just looking at that.
That's actually fifth on the list of what I've got when I was doing the report. Anxiety, stress management, depression, phobias, and sleep disorders come fifth at the moment in how many people come to see me. So.
I see a lot of people with sleep issues. It's probably not the predominant one that they come for, but it is an issue that we work through in the sessions together. So yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been an absolutely amazing chat, and so grateful that you joined me today, and let's do it again.
I can't wait for the next one.
I can't wait either. Okay, so thank you so much, Mark. It's been an absolute pleasure as always talking to you.
Brilliant. As I say, there's going to be many different avenues we're going on between me and Rachel on not just issues and everything, but past life regression, future life, and all sorts of things that we're going to go through. So listen up and
listen for the next one.
Exactly.
Thanks, Mark.
Be good. Take care. See you later. Bye-bye.